Cole Sprouse discusses Jughead's sexuality, Beanie, and more during his Reddit AMA, and I've got all the highlights. What's up, lovely people? Lisa here, and as you probably know, I'm a big fan of the CW show Riverdale. It's one of my guilty pleasures, and damn it, I just need to know who killed Jason Blossom, like, right now. Anyway, one of my favorites from the show is Jughead, played by Cole Sprouse, whose career we've kind of all been following since Big Daddy and Sweet Life. Well, Cole recently did a Reddit Ask Me Anything, or AMA as they're called, where he revealed in his Cole sort of way a few things about Riverdale, so I'm going to bring you 10 of the highlights. One of the things I know I've been a little bit confused by is how old-fashioned Riverdale is. They use computers that seem to be from the 90s with monitors like this big, their school desks are pretty old, and other things. But yet the show takes place in current times, so is Riverdale really that small of a town in the middle of nowhere? Well, thankfully one user, Cardigan, had the same thoughts as me. They asked, is the show supposed to be set in modern times with old cars, or in less modern times but with modern phones? Confuses the heck out of me. Well, confuses me too, Cardigan. Cole responded saying Riverdale has no formal or announced time period as of now, and with the amount of money we dedicate to atmospheric fog, the setting is supposed to feel dreamlike. My understanding of the town is some twilight zone between the modern and the nostalgic golden age of America, hence the set pieces like the autos. Okay, I'll buy that, Cole. Next up, a question that definitely made me laugh, but also that I agree with 100%. Casey J. Parsons asked, is Jughead ever going to tell Archie to stop being a little bitch? Cole, who was obviously pretty hilarious, responded with, is Fred? Touché, my friend. Cole then decided that the question actually deserved a real answer and said, quote, there's an interesting story why Archie seems to have only a modicum of the struggles the rest of the cast does. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been out of school for a long time and had to Google what modicum meant. So if any of you feel as dumb as me right now, it means a small quantity or portion of a particular thing. So high five to Merriam-Webster for keeping me educated, and Google. Back to Cole's response, he continued saying that Archie is the universe's center. He's the figurehead, the icon. Because of the new tone this universe took, much of our cast and crew were wondering if people would enjoy the direction Riverdale is taking. Riverdale is, after all, different from the digests, yet Archie is Riverdale. Riverdale is Archie. It might be valuable to view the Andrews clan, their purity, their goodwill, and their hardships as a reflection of the town itself. Moving on, one of the most brought up questions since the show started, and especially since the show coupled Jughead and Betty together, aka Bughead, is about Jughead's sexuality. Now, Archie comics have been around for over 75 years, and we've seen quite a few versions of all these beloved characters both in print and animated on TV. Last year, though, in the Jughead #4 comic, it was revealed that Forsyth Pendleton III, aka Jughead, was in fact asexual, which means that he isn't sexually attracted to other people, which is something not too often portrayed on TV. The only one I can think of currently is Raphael over on Shadowhunters. Anyway, so many fans of the Archie comics were rooting for Jughead to be asexual in Riverdale, but as of right now he's in a relationship with Betty, so is that ever gonna happen? Well, according to Cole, you shouldn't rule it out in the future. When Caitlin Rose 923 asked Cole if he still wants Jughead to be asexual or if he wants him to continue to explore his relationship with Betty, Cole responded saying that he hopes this question continues to be asked over and over because it increases visibility, and he still wants it to be represented, but it has to be done correctly. He said, quote, to give depth to an asexual Jughead, it first needs to be stated that Jughead's asexuality was a recent character development. Chip Zdarsky, the writer for the Jughead comics, made it canon in his more modern universes. In all other universes, Jughead was either A, a woman hater, or B, aromantic, a person who experiences little or no romantic attraction to others. Aromantic Jughead and asexual Jughead are two different kinds of representation that deserve separate attention and discussion, as the two orientations are different and don't deserve to be grouped. Very well said. He continued saying that since Jughead's only around like 17, his sexuality is still a little bit fluid and they're trying to figure that out, and they have discussed where his sexuality is heading. He continued saying, Riverdale is a new universe and we need to first think of Jughead as a human agent within this environment. His decisions about his sexuality are going to be informed by his upbringing and his immediate and long-term desires. Betty and Jughead's coupling are a great example of such an informed decision. Okay, So I can see what they're saying here. He's still kind of in that teenage years where he is figuring out who he is, so him having a relationship with Betty could seem plausible right now. But in the future, you never know what will happen. I think it would definitely be cool to see Jughead represented as either asexual or aromantic, since it's something you don't really see on TV. I know a ton of people were excited when he came out as asexual in the comics. Now the show could definitely go that route, or they could keep Betty and Jughead together, or even in some versions of the comics, Jughead also dates and marries Ethel Muggs, who in the show is played by Shannon Purser, so that could even be an interesting storyline. Next on our list is just a funny one that kind of goes with the last one in a way. MattoXD asked if Jughead fucks, to which Cole responded saying, Jughead makes love. Jughead's a sensitive soul. Now when it comes to Cole's favorite memory on set, he revealed that the set designers did such a good job constructing Pop's diners that they actually had hungry 18-wheeler truck drivers pull over thinking they could eat there. I mean, to me, Pop's looks pretty believable and I'd stop in to try to get a milkshake if I could. Jughead's signature beanie is definitely an important part to him and the show, and Ashlyn Axe asked Cole if he knew the significance of the beanie and if he's given his own history to it since taking on the role. Cole answered saying he indeed did some research on the cap when he first got the part, and he also posted a link to a very interesting video all about the history of Jughead's beloved headwear. He then said the cap will always stand for a kind of nonconformist working class symbol, and he's hoping to breathe the same into this version. Now with the show, if you watch it like me, you sort of feel like you're playing detective when you're watching each episode, right? Trying to piece together clues, figure out who murdered Jason Blossom, why some people are connected and doing the shady shit, and all this kind of stuff. Well, a Reddit user named Car Crash Rhetoric is a true sleuth. I give props to them because they noticed something that a lot of fans have also noticed: how much colors play a part on Riverdale. For example, blue is the Coopers, red's the Blossoms, Polly wears a lot of purples, and they wanted to know if that was actually important to the story or just an aesthetic bonus. Cole responded saying that Roberto Aguirre Sacasa has a lot of control over the outfits, especially the colors of the characters. Cole then said, I haven't looked into it personally, but I'm willing to bet you guys are right on the money. Color theory is a growing and interesting thread in many TV shows. It's very interesting indeed. Like, I don't think I noticed this at all in the show except for the obvious red of the Blossoms, but now I definitely am gonna have to start paying more attention to every little detail. Next, Lil K Hobbs wanted to know the hardest part of being Jughead and the most difficult part of bringing him to the silver screen, to which Cole responded saying, the comedy. Jughead is usually the comedic relief in the comics, but Cole said it's been a big challenge giving Jughead's humor a darker tone while staying true to the comics, since Riverdale's obviously a bit of a darker show. Well, I think you're doing a great job, dude. Now, when asked how he felt when he got the role by Jen Diane, Cole pointed out he's a huge comic fan and even worked at a comic shop for a little bit in Hollywood, so he understands the passion fans have when they see a character they love either live up to expectations or not live up to expectations with their live action representations. He said the good thing about the Archie universe is how wide open it is. Lots of strange things have happened over the universe over the many years, and so there was really never one kind of Archie. It made Riverdale an understandable adaptation, and thankfully people have latched on and enjoyed this version. I know I have. Lastly, the cast has not gone back to film season 2 yet, but when asked what season 2 is going to be like, Cole said, quote, darker and much weirder. Much darker, much weirder. Tone and genre elements that we touched upon in the cinematography and narrative are getting a big emphasis in season 2. Okay, so this is interesting. How much darker and weirder can this show actually get? Are they going to bring supernatural stuff into the show? Personally, I'm not a huge supernatural fan, but I know in some of the Archie comics that's definitely been incorporated, like zombies and werewolves and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and everything. So does that classify as weirder? And I mean, we're trying to solve a murder of a teenager in season 1, so how much darker can we go? I think it was revealed that someone else will be murdered this season that might set up for season 2, so I guess that might be the darker? Alright, so those are the 10 highlights from Cole Sprouse's recent Reddit AMA all about Riverdale. He also shared some very cool behind the scenes pictures he's taken over on Reddit, so go check those out. And then leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about Cole's reveals and also your thoughts on what he said about Jughead's sexuality. Where would you like to see Jughead go in the future seasons of Riverdale? After that, you can click right over here for some more of my videos, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell so you get all the notifications. As always, thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you real soon.